So we're going to be factoring again, and factoring is taking things into brackets, so putting stuff in brackets. So we're looking for anything that, any terms that have common factors, things they share in common. And if I look at this first example, I can see that I have a 8a inside of both of the first two terms. I also have a b inside the second two terms, and a c for the last two terms as well. And so I might think about just trying to break this up at the start, noticing that I have an 8 and an a on both of those, so I'll factor those two first, pulling out the common term. And that leaves me with an a behind, so 8a times a gives me 8a squared. And 8a minus b will get me back to 8a minus 8ab, bracket. And if I factor out a c in that case, a positive c, c times b will get me back to cb, and c times negative e will get me to minus ce. And that works for me. I could potentially also factor those middle terms, 8a squared minus taking out a b here. Well, I'm not actually going to go through it. I could actually factor those out because they both have a b in common, but you'll notice the terms that are left, 8a squared and ce, have nothing in common with each other. So I'm only going to get one set of brackets with two terms left over, which is not as tidy as this one with two sets of brackets where everything's tidied up inside of there. So that's the right answer for that one. Taking a look at the second example, looking for common factors, I can see that I have 4s and ims and ins and p's, and they're all kind of mixed up together. I've got p's in the middle terms again, and I've got ins at the end and ims at the start. So I might think about doing the same thing of just trying to break that in half. I've got an im on both of these, so I'm going to take that out. Im, bracket, 4, im times 4 gets me 4im, minus mp, so minus p. Looking at the next set here, they both have an in common, but I notice that I've got a negative with this one, which makes things a bit tricky. So what I might actually do is just rewrite that for myself. Positive 4n minus np, just change the order. It makes it easier for me to write it. I notice that they both have an in there, so I'm going to pull the positive n out. And again, n times 4 gets me 4n, and n times negative p will get me negative np. So now I'm up to this step, and that's halfway there. You can be happy with that. But look closely here. M times bracket 4 minus p plus n times bracket 4 minus p. You may notice that those brackety things are the exact same, which means that I still have a common factor between those two sets of things. So in this case, 4 minus p and 4 minus p are shared by both the im and the n. So, much like I would have factored taking the im out of both of those to put it in front, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take the n minus p and put it out front. Sorry, the 4 minus p, because they both have it. And 4 minus p times im. So 4 minus p times im gets me im 4 minus p, plus 4 minus p times n. 4 minus p times n gets me n and 4 minus p back again on the other side. So this becomes my final equation. So that's the one extra step that can sometimes come up for you when you're doing factoring, is being aware of the step that if you get two sets of brackets, just look one more time and say, hey, are those brackets the same thing? Can I factor one step further? And here we could, because 4 minus p was the same for both terms there. And you end up with this nice tidy expression, bracket 4 minus p, bracket, im plus n. And if you expand that all out, you get right back to what we started again.